know. Yeah.
We are live on a Thursday. What's happening? It's Thursday, and it's
Thursday.
Topics podcast on a Thursday. What is going on?
Thursday.
The weekend starts now.
Yeah.
Yes. Everybody just skip work and school tomorrow. Just skip it.
Yeah, you have been relieved.
Paul, you stole the words out of my mouth.
We approve it.
I was about to say that, Paul. You stole my
I didn't know. Sorry. Rewind.
But I mean, it's hilarious because you chose the exact same words I was about to say in the exact same way I was about to say it. So great minds think alike.
That's right. I was going to say that next.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's almost like we finished each other's
sentences.
Oh!
Well, I'm sure people wanted me to say sandwiches.
I was thinking it could have gone either way.
I would love for somebody to finish my sandwiches.
I'll finish my own sandwiches.
That's why we're all like so discombobulated, because we're having Nin Topics podcast on a Thursday. I know I'm very discombobulated. Not in a bad way, just discombobulated.
I mean, we couldn't wait to do this podcast just because a lot has been happening. A lot happened over the past couple of days regarding the Legend of Zelda live action movie, and we might even share a little bit of an exclusive that nobody is covering. We are covering it today on the live action movie of the Legend of Zelda. Even Joshi just said before, Joshi said, "Don't I don't want to know about it. I don't want to know about it." So we can kind of read it on air for you right now. Welcome to the Topics podcast, my friends. If you are here on Thursday, hey, you are the Topics faithful. You're just on time. You're kind of, you got your finger on the pulse, and you're kind of waiting to see where's the Topics showing up this week. Are they showing up on the moon with the people who went to the moon apparently with the CGI? I'm not gonna go there. And so is the entire podcast showing up by Disney or Universal? Are they showing up by the like Paul, when we're talking about the premiere at Hollywood of the Zelda movie? Where are they showing up this week? Who knows? That's what you gotta hit subscribe to Paul Guild Network. Whenever Joyce opens her channel, hit subscribe in there. And Mike Odyssey with notifications so you'll know when the Topic podcast shows up. Before we get into the big Zelda stuff, I want to go ahead and go to the crew. Sensei Paul, how are you doing, Paul?
Well, very good. Already excited because we got Zelda stuff to talk about. But then today, one of my 3 favorite franchises, hot off the heels of yesterday getting Godzilla footage, today we got Street Fighter trailer. I am living it up. So
it's crazy.
Happy. Oh,
the trailer looks incredible.
Oh,
incredible.
Very much so.
You saw it, right, Josie? You saw it?
Mm-hmm. I might even go see it.
It's awesome. I was telling Paul, I love that they went Street Fighter 2 vibe, and it has that kind of like a cyberpunk feel to it, also with the music and the environments and Chun-Li. Perfect casting for Chun-Li. Who else, Paul? What was your biggest moment watching that trailer?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm laughing at my own self of how hyped I was in my own reaction video for it, because there were so many moments of it like that I was just and I was laughing like, oh geez. Oh, seeing Blanca come to life was really good looking. Having Ryu do the Hadouken is just like my favorite thing in all of gaming, is that specific move. The fun interaction between Ken and him.
Yeah.
The fun little thing between Chun-Li and Cammy. I don't see what's the big deal of your thighs, because that's a long-running joke. Chun-Li is the thighs. Seeing Akuma and how good everybody looked, because it's hard. Like Mike and I were talking about just before we went live, a second before Joyce got here, like it's tough to get. I think it's tougher to get male actors that look like their counterparts than the ladies for theirs, because the guys are usually very big, larger than life, But here you got some WWE superstars, and like Roman Reigns as Akuma, seeing him in the gi, like he looked good. Guile, portrayed by Cody Rhodes with a flash kick, that was nice. Zangief, just how wild this suplex was to Ken, destroying the car, the lid flying off. I mean, there were so many little things to unpack in that 2.5-minute trailer that, I mean, I've watched it several times since, and I'm like just laughing, but not laughing at it, just laughing at how, I don't know, fun it is. And right away seeing like, okay, 1993 World Tournament 2. Okay, so it's a timepiece. It's a set piece. I even think I'm going to have to comb through it, but when it showed like behind the scenes, Ken Masters, you're a washed up fighter, and like showing his MTV footage and stuff like that of, the Playboy millionaire stopped fighting and this and that. One of the footages later on is of Ryu and Ken standing side by side, seemingly older footage of them. And I'm pretty sure that is the outfits of the Ryu and Ken from the 1993 Street Fighter film with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Raul Julia. Like, Ken and Ryu, I'm saying Ryu on purpose instead of Ryu, in that movie, their casual clothes looked like, I think they did an Easter egg in this movie of the throwback to how these characters were portrayed in that older film, which as many people dog on it, it's not that bad of a movie. It's not the best movie, but it's still kind of fun. It's like the equivalent of the Super Mario Brothers movie from 92 or whatever, like 3. Fun. Anyway, I know you asked like, what's my favorite thing? I don't know. It's the favorite thing. The whole thing, like all of it. The only thing I don't like, and this is sort of a weird thing to say, but it's true, is that I'm not in the movie.
You were in the next one, right?
I don't like. I should be in it, man.
Yeah, man.
I don't understand why they don't call you for these things.
Paul. You dropped the ball, Paul. This was it. This was it.
Just give me random Thug 3 sign guy. They could, how a deep cut would have been, throw me in my blue suit that I wore in the background stage of Street Fighter 4 when I was made an NPC there, and have me in the audience in this movie.
Cool. Fun fact: Super Street Fighter came out in 1993. Says here, Super Street Fighter, the new challengers. Then Super Street Fighter Special Champion Edition, Super Street Fighter 2. There's a whole bunch of Super Street Fighter 2s.
There's a lot.
Yeah, but it says here, Super Street Fighter Turbo Hype Fighting was released in July 10, 1993. So there could be a lot of Easter eggs there to pick out. Probably you're gonna have a blast. You're gonna have a blast looking for you. You need to bring a notebook, a little bingo card to the theater.
We saw the Hurricane kick. We saw the Spinning Bird kick. Oh, we got a reference between Chun-Li and Vega fighting, because if you ever checked it out, the Street Fighter 2 animated movie, that was an amazing film that still holds up. They released a 4K version of it several years ago. Highly recommend it, or the Blu-ray version, whatever you want to see it. But Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, epic fight between Chun-Li and Vega, and we got to see a little bit of that today. Like, I have a feeling this is going to be a big hit. Maybe not. Maybe it's not going to be $1 billion movie like Mario, but in terms of satisfying the fans with Easter eggs, like I've already seen a dozen from just this little 2.5 minutes. If this is any indication, I think we're in for a treat. Like, fans are going to eat it up, and hopefully non-fans, because I don't want just a one and done. I want like, come on, let's continue with this,
Yeah.
I'll drop the mic for now, because this will become like a Street Fighter podcast for me.
All right, Josie, how are you?
I'm fabulous. Congratulations for Street Fighter fans. I watched the trailer. Will I go see it? I might. Not to put Boo Mini on blast, but she was thinking the same thing I was thinking. And please don't assume that us ladies are going to go see the Street Fighter movie just for Jason Momoa.
Wait, who's he playing?
Don't care.
Jason Momoa is a Blanca in it.
Blanca, okay.
Check this out.
Interesting.
He's Blanca and Lobo in the same year.
Yeah.
And he's reprising a role in Dune. And he was in Wrecking Crew with Dave Bautista a couple of months ago. Like,
that was good.
That's a really good 4 films for 2026 for the actor. Like, shout out to him. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's an Amazon movie. I saw that a couple of months ago. Really good.
It's fun, right?
But Joyce, how excited are you for today's topic?
Oh, now it's Zelda. What else? What else do we need to say? Like,
did you ever think you would see a Zelda movie in your lifetime?
I always hope for one. And then when because I think the Mario movie was a rumor at first.
Yeah.
The first Mario movie, I think it was a rumor at first. And I had my hopes up and I'm like, oh, maybe it's not Mario, maybe it'll be Zelda. Oh no, or they'll start with Mario and then they'll do Zelda. Well, I was right. But I've always wanted one because as you know, I like to write. I'm a writer, so I wrote my own fanfic script for it, and what I would like to see just one way of how I would like to see the movie to go. So I'm very interested to see how they play this. I wish I had more exciting news, but I did boring things this week. I hung out with my mom on Wednesday.
Not boring.
I guess not for me because it was fun because y'all know how it is, you know, when I had to go help her with some things. So I spent the last few nights at her house and she made me dinner and she made me chili. And we all know how to make chili. Chili is like one of the easiest things to make, but it's always hits different when your mom makes it.
Of course. Yes.
You know, and then she made like a really great breakfast this morning. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I want to move back home.
Yeah. Parents is the sweetest thing alive. I met Paul's parents. I couldn't have met more, you know. I fell in love with Paul's mom. She's so awesome and so funny too. And and Paul's dad is super cool, super awesome, and his family and everything. And so I'm glad that you spent time with your mama because hey, it's a blessing.
I turned into a 6-year-old with my mom. I go crawl into her bed and I'm like, Mommy, will you make me something to eat? And she's like, okay, what do you want to eat? And I'm like, okay, go make me something.
I mean, you're allowed to. You're allowed to. That's the only time you're allowed to, you know, be a baby because that's what they will always see you that way and they will always treat you like that. So yeah.
And if anybody's wondering, today's little treat, I have a leftover fruit cup from earlier. So I am so excited to have this and I wish I had more. I've been on a fruit kick lately.
I got some coffee here, my little mug here with the
best mug ever.
Royal mug. Yeah, it was on sale.
I really like that.
Yeah, it was on sale. Paul has a Zelda mug. This was supposed to be a Zelda mug, but like I was telling Josie before we started the podcast, my friend at GameStop told me that the mugs were going to be on sale on the first day, on April 1st, for the premiere of Super Mario. Right. I went. That was my second time watching the movie. Then I went back with my daughters on that following Saturday to find out. Yeah, they were on sale, but the other one was gone. The one that I really wanted. And then I'm like, they had this one, and they had the cliche red Mario at the end. I'm like, I'm not gonna get that one. I might as well get this one. It's like more royalty. It has all the characters on it. You know, so that's how the story of this mug. Hey, mug. You know,
I like that mug.
Yeah. So this week I decided to rewatch Dragon Ball.
I saw
the entire series because Disney Plus now merged with Hulu and a whole bunch of other things, so they have the entire series on Disney Plus, but they have Dragon Ball Z Kai. And I didn't watch Dragon Ball Z Kai. I didn't even know what Dragon Ball Z Kai was. And it's basically a re-edited, revoiced version of the original Dragon Ball Z, the one they aired for and so what they did is they condensed it to where it feels more action and things happen a lot quicker. Like how long they take from the Ginyu Force all the way to Frieza. in all these episodes, or even from when they get from Earth to Namek, all these episodes, like it's crazy. So they condensed it to where everything is more action, and so like, wow, I actually like this. What I don't like is they changed the voice for Gohan. I like the voice for Gohan, which was the voice for Goku when he was little in Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball. But they have another voice actor for Gohan. But it's pretty cool. I've been enjoying it. Binge watching it every time I have a chance. Right now, I'm in the match of Frieza. Goku's still not Super Saiyan yet. He just recovered from the chamber, and he's about to encounter Frieza for the first time. So that's where I'm at, and that's where I haven't been playing video games, just watching Dragon Ball Z. You know, you gotta go back sometimes, just kind of, you know, because yeah, just because. But let's get to the subject at hand, because Yoshi's about to kill me if I don't start talking about Zelda.
No, I'm patient. We talk a little bit of Zelda every single week, so I don't go crazy. It's over.
Emotional damage.
Wait, what is that? What is that music? How did it start playing? Anybody recognize it?
There we go.
Isn't that cool, right? Like a cool, laid back, lo-fi Zelda with what do you call that lady? Hey, the Hey lady.
Oh,
Navi. Yeah, Navi.
The fairy.
Yeah, Navi. Not Navi from Avatar.
Ocarina of Time.
Not from Avatar. Navi from Avatar. Navi from Ocarina of Time. All right, so The Legend of Zelda. Let's go ahead and do a quick recap for those of you who have been living under a beautiful, cozy rock. You have your reasons. Well, let's go ahead and do a quick recap and then go over what's new when it comes to The Legend of Zelda live action movie. Now, this week, if you guys have first thing, if you've been living under a rock for a long time, they're making a Zelda movie. Let's start there. They're making a Zelda movie.
What? This is a movie?
They're making a Zelda movie. It's actually happening.
I thought we were talking about a brand new game.
Well, you know what? You know what?
I'm totally kidding. I'm kidding, Mike. Keep going. I'm kidding.
But this is the thing, though, Joycey. There is so much truth in your word. You know why? Because when going to see this movie, when anticipating this movie, the best way to anticipate it is as if you were seeing or getting a brand new game. Why? Because it's new. Why? Because it's in the legend. It's not based on any other game. It's a new story in the Legend of Zelda. And that's, Joycey, this is all you. You take all the credit, right? Because that's like the best way to do it. You go into
I willed it into existence.
Yeah, you go into this movie because I've seen a lot of comments. Hey, I hope they do Ocarina of Time. I hope they do Twilight Princess. I hope no, they're not gonna do any of that. They're not gonna do any of that. This is a brand new movie, a brand new legend, a new legend that is well told for those who are new to the franchise. It's good for us Zelda fans, right? Good for us. A lot of Easter eggs, a lot of really cool stuff. But then good enough for those who are just entering, and then they become fans through the movies and then enter the video games. And so it's a good way. Thank you, Joyce, for that little tidbit. That's actually a good little way to start there. All right, so headlines, what you must know. Production status, it's Sony Pictures, partner it with Nintendo. Nintendo 51%, Sony 49%. And so recently we had CinemaCon 2026, which, by the way, I got a media pass and completely ignored it because I couldn't travel over there. Couldn't go over there. I applied for that media pass earlier in the year and they approved it, and then I just never went. But I did. I mean, yeah, maybe next year. Maybe we can all go next year.
Yeah, when the movie's actually releasing, and we can probably talk to all the actors.
For real, Paul and I were just talking about that before the podcast started. Like, if we can somehow, Paul will get us, sneak us into the premiere in LA, maybe through the back.
Yeah, and any security who tries to kick us out, Paul will just drop kick them.
Yeah, just a Hadouken right there.
Yeah, just a Hadouken. Yeah, we got this. So I say we should go.
You know what would be cool? I'm just thinking of like, what would I wear? What would I wear to said event?
Yeah.
Like, since I have my white karate gi and it's
Yeah.
a black belt, imagine like a nice white 3-piece, 5-piece suit with a very elaborate black belt, but also some type of black cloth that wraps around the outer vest portion, so it looks like that. And like, oh man, that would be slick.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
back to reality.
So
I'm sorry, really quick. I have to ask this question.
Of course.
In the hierarchy of karate, is there a green?
Yeah. There's a green belt.
So I was gonna just say you could. Well, no, not a green belt, but what is the uniform outfit called?
Gi.
The gi, yeah.
A gi. Is there a green one?
Yeah, green gi.
Color.
It depends on the martial arts. Sometimes some martial arts have different types of gi depending on what you know. But
only reason I was saying, because if we're trying to break into a Zelda event, you know, Paul should be wearing that and be ready to just like literally drop kick anybody. I'm just saying.
Yeah. The more traditional gi is the white one for black belts with the black trim bottom here.
Okay.
I
don't think I've seen a green one.
Is that yours, Paul? You see more colors in other like kung fu. You see colors.
Yeah, I mean, I have a few different colored doboks.
Yeah.
Which is the equivalent in Taekwondo and gis. I have a red, a blue, a white, like a white black.
Yeah.
A small black doesn't fit me anymore. But yeah, and then like you could just get purple. You could get pink. I mean, they've got everything. They got whatever you want.
Yeah, mine was black.
Especially it branches out. Actually, no, the black one would still fit. Kung Fu is also very different. I have a black one from there.
Yeah.
Cool.
We can have
I'm sorry, y'all. I just got us all off track. I'm sorry.
No, look, I'm a black belt Taekwondo instructor, and Paul is a black belt in karate. Paul, what's your study?
A few, yeah.
But what's your main study? What's the main one? The one you teach?
A few also. I mean, I teach karate, Taekwondo, personal defense, Tai Chi Chuan. Mostly those four.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds good. All right, so we'll have a podcast related to Taekwondo and karate. We'll break it down by gi, by belt, and all that stuff.
And self-defense.
We'll do something like that. I have the black one and blue trims for Taekwondo on my end because the instructors were black ones with blue trims. For their it just depends on where you go. So back to the Legend of Zelda movie. So CinemaCon just happened on April 14th. The principal photography, basically the big story out of there, out of CinemaCon, of course, alongside all the amazing movies that were shown there, trailers that were shown there. I cannot wait. There's a Robert De Niro movie with Ben Stiller. I'm not gonna say the name because it's very I can mispronounce it, but it's hilarious. It's the sequel to Meet the Parents.
Oh yeah.
It came out
it's like Meet My Focker-in-Law or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. So it's spelled Focker. It's his last name in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the fourth installment now. Ariana Grande is part of it. The trailer is phenomenal. I can't get into this because I'll get lost into that. But the main story for this podcast right now, because we can't get side quest. The main story is that the official photography, that means in film talk, the official photography has wrapped, meaning filming has wrapped, the initial filming, right? And so it looks like the entire movie was shot in New Zealand, with parts of it in Los Angeles on sound stages. So we have initial photography has completed. No word whether this is just actors, right? So all the actors have already filmed their scenes, and it's all good there. Now we're entering into the post-production part of the movie, the editing. the sound effects, the sound design, music, composition, and more. And this is where the movie comes together and it becomes a masterpiece, hopefully, right? And so that's where we're entering now. If they have to do reshoots, that happens in post production also. And so we are about a year away. May 7th, 2027. Next month is the month of May, so we can say a year and a couple of days away from the release of the Legend of Zelda live action. Now, the big question is, let me go ahead and do the recap here because I'm getting too ahead of myself. Has officially wrapped. The movie is locked in, confirmed for May 7, 2027. The cast is Benjamin Evan Ainsworth as Link, Bo, you okay, Josie?
Mhm.
Bo Bragatson as Zelda, and heavily leaked. You cannot unconfirm this.
Yeah.
Heavily leaked. Daikin Lackman. Somebody told me is pronounced Dickin Lackman or Daikin. I don't know. She is from the show in Apple TV. What's it called again? Severance. One of my all-time favorite shows. If you have not watched Severance, watch it. It'll break your head. It's just such a phenomenal show. It's on Apple TV. And I think they if you watch it on Amazon too, you would have to pay for it too, but it's available everywhere. You just have to pay for it if you don't have Apple TV. But she is part of the show. It gives you a glimpse into her acting chops. Her looks is Impa from Ocarina of Time. And so people are like, wow, there's side-by-side comparisons between the white hair she has in the leaked images. I don't want to show them because I shared a picture and they not I got a little bit of a strike from YouTube, and so that just confirms that it's a real thing. So she appears to be playing an Impa that is a really of course she's Zelda's mentor, right? And in that leaked footage, she appears to be giving Zelda some kind of input, and she takes out the sword and she puts it back in the sword thingy, and then she takes out something else, and she's like kind of showing Zelda the ropes of something going on there, which is super cool. That is Impa. We have the sound by John Paisano. Oh, Paisano. I'm saying Paisano. I'm gonna say Paisano. Paisano. Who is this man? Well, he did Spider-Man. He did the Spider-Man games. By the way, the Spider-Man games for Sony. He did the composition for that one. He did Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. He's very well connected to Wes Ball, which is the director of the movie. And Koji Kondo is serving as a consultant. He's there to make sure that everything is right. Like that is a Zelda theme song to approve everything. Miyamoto is next to the director. Basically, he's like co-directing. And then Koji Kondo is co-composing, making sure supervising. So we have Nintendo on top of it. So at least we know. For those of you who are familiar with John Paisano, I've seen a lot of people be very, very, very excited about this because he's a very good composer. And he says, people say, if the movie flops, at least we have a good soundtrack. We have a good soundtrack because it's good. Let's see here. Okay, I think that's the whole gist. Let me see here. So finish April. Okay. All right, man. Let's see. All right. Yeah, sound effects. Does it? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So I have a second another part here. Josie, do you wanna can you read this other part, the second part? It starts in post production.
Post production. Since filming finished in April of 2026, and the movie doesn't come out until May 2027, they have a full year for VFX. Now, does it suggest maybe that there's going to be heavy use of CGI for, our favorite creatures, Lionels, Moblins, rather than practical suits? let's start there. What do you guys think? Because I have some things to say about it.
We know from a past interview that Wes Ball believes in as many practical effects as possible, and that his vision would be something comparable to a live-action Studio Ghibli film. So what that means is probably a nice, whimsical, heavy air-implied brush scenery stroke with some particle effects that have a little bit of an animated flair. I'm picturing lots of pot breaking and fire arrows that ignite things and bombs that are actually made out of paper mache and concrete and whatever for characters to throw, with a little bit of safety precautions on set because they will actually pop. And then CG to be, of course, added for, like Joyce said, Lionel and Lizafloses and, what have you, great fairies? Who knows, right? Maybe some proper sets made for the likes of castles and castle walls and stuff, so they have that real feeling. But then, through the magic of CGI, things incorporated. But if I'm not mistaken, they filmed this thing in 5 months. 5 months seems like an appropriate amount of time to have for a whole schedule. Not bad. And like 11 months or whatever for all that editing stuff to be done, because the movie comes out in 12 and a half. So you got to figure they got to be done before. Right. The last day. They got a Hollywood premiere and final rating and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm stoked. I can't wait. From who's working on it, to the music, to Koji Kondo being involved, and Miyamoto being involved, and Nintendo being involved, I don't see how this is not a sweet film for fans,
Yeah. I think that for just so that the creatures and the monsters, the moblins and Lionels could be as close as faithful to the. I mean, the thing is that when you look at these creatures in each game, they all look different, right? They kind of evolve. Like the moblins don't look the same in Ocarina of Time as they do in Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild. They kind of look different. They look more like gremlins in the wild era, right? Like the gremlins. And so who knows whether we get something different or similar, right? To the games, but I think a combination of practical with VFX and CGI can work. I know that Wes Ball for Planet of the Apes, he did use some of the characters had actual costumes on, the ape costumes on, and they had their face had all those dots with cameras and the microphone. So throughout the entire movie, whenever you saw in Planet of the Apes the main ape talking and moving its face, it was always captured live on that, all the expression, and then CGI face kind of in there. So he likes to use a combination of practical with CGI, and the sets were mostly also practical with bigger sets CGI. So let's look at this with Zelda. We were talking about how in Zelda there's so many. Why are there so many shooting locations? Why mostly New Zealand? Because they have to build Hyrule, right? They have to build the land of Hyrule, and Hyrule might not exist in the world we have now, but maybe this piece here and this piece over there and that castle over there and this mountain over there, all put together, is Hyrule, right? And they find a way how to gather these sets and these pieces and with CGI and special effects and create the Hyrule that we recognize. Imagine Death Mountain. They're looking up and they see Death Mountain up ahead. A Gerudo just kind of going down, and so all that to bring that to life is I'm so hyped for this movie. Just kind of picturing even in the deserts. I know there were shots there are scenes or shooting locations where there were desert areas. So I'm guessing we're gonna get Gerudos, the Gerudo also in there. But I think CGI is a big part. Like Paul was saying, practical effects. He likes practical effects. So I think a combination of both. But man, I just can't wait what they do. I can't wait to see what they do. It's gonna be awesome. It'll be awesome.
Something I'm wondering, is it going to be PG or PG-13? I don't think you have to make it PG-13, especially after watching the live action How to Train Your Dragon, because we talked about it in a couple of podcasts ago. That movie, you take that movie and you mash it with the last Planet of the Apes and you throw in Zelda, and you literally have the director that did the Planet of the Apes movie, and you've got the Nintendo magic with Miyamoto and Koji Kondo supervising on the music and the bump. And like, that's terrific. But will it be PG-13 to be a little bit more hard hitting and to have certain animations be like, okay, the sword did damage, or PG? How to Train Your Dragon shows you could have that type of movie and have enough calamity going on and not need it to go past PG. You could have, like, depending on how the enemies get fallen, puffs of smoke, Wind Waker style. So the movie has its very own distinct visual that's not like the snap from Thanos where they fade, but more Wind Waker-esque where they poof, and then you don't have to deal with blood. Or you do have, I mean, like you look at what's a PG-13 and a PG, you do get a lot more with this, but then you do eliminate some of your potential audience. So there's this fine line. You don't need PG-13 to like throw in some cuss words in it. Like Zelda's not going to benefit from swearing. The games don't. So why would you throw that in here? But from a little bit more of a oomph, maybe we'll see. I'm curious. Either way, I'm going to be fine because I like my rated E for everyone Zelda games. I like my rated T for teen Zelda games. I don't discriminate between the two. It's all good. We'll see. What do you two have a one way or another that you think they're going to go or want to go with?
I have an idea. I don't know which way they're going to go because first of all, I don't know the budget for the movie because so and you explained that he likes practical effects. So and I know I bring this up a lot, but I can't help but think about the Thriller video back in 1983 and what they were 83, 84, whenever it came out. And I can't help but think about all the camera tricks, the makeup, and fog and smoke, all these things that didn't look as good, or excuse me, that looked amazing for its time period and still kind of holds up. And see how far we've come with CGI, with all these other special effects, and think about Avatar. Now I will admit there are parts of Avatar where I'm like, okay, it's looking a little like a video game here. But it's gotten better over time, so I can see them going both ways. But since he enjoys using practical effects, I'm sure that the people who look like people, like the great fairies look like people. They'll probably just do a camera trick where she looks larger than life, if we even get a great fairy in here. I can definitely see if the moblins are similar to the ones from Tears of the Kingdom. The big moblins are really, really tall. I can see them just hiring a bunch of tall people and then kind of CGI-ing them around, multiple of them. I can see them doing that. I think about even back in high school when I was in drama class and theater class and all the weird and fun stuff we made out of paper mache. I can see them doing all kind of stuff to create the Gorons. Basically, it's not impossible at all. Whether they go all practical and paper mache and paint and everything, or they decide to CGI it. I will admit I'm not the biggest fan of CGI because I feel like I can always tell.
Yeah.
I think Okay, side quest number 3,473. Okay, so I think it was the Matrix. Was it the Matrix Reloaded? The second one, I think, where there's that scene where Neo is fighting all the agents, and he has a pole that he's using.
Yeah,
and he totally turns into a video game character. And me and my aunt, we went to go see it together, and I couldn't take the scene seriously after I saw that. I'm just like, wee.
Is Reloaded the last one, or is it the final one, the 4?
I think it's the second one, Reloaded, and then Revolutions is the third one.
Okay, yeah.
And I never saw the fourth one. I didn't hear great things about it.
Yeah,
but I kind of want to see it just because I like Keanu.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
you make great points there, Joyce. Great point.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that can be done with tricks of the camera. The way they used to do, and because the thing about it is, and it's interesting. Me and my mom had a conversation about this. You know, some of the best people who make movies and do cinema and things now, they probably learned from all the old tricks from the before times and the long ago. You know, they used to use chocolate syrup to, in black and white movies to imitate blood. You know, things like that. So it's all about good camera tricks, good angles, and probably a good amount of, taking a few leaps of faith. So yeah. So I think it's gonna be fine. But I really am curious about the budget. I know we don't know what it is now, but we'll eventually know. But I'm really curious about what the budget is.
I think it's 200 million.
Who said that?
All right, it was 200 million. Yeah, I was doing my research today. I think it was 200 million.
How to Train Your Dragon, that live action one, $150 million.
Yeah, so I think
you gotta imagine this is going to be comparable, right? So
yeah,
that's fair.
If Mike knows or is approximating 200, even if you split the difference and call it 175, that's a pretty beefy budget,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Look at Super Mario Galaxy, 110. Now all CG, but still, they got a lot done with that much money. Yeah. What will also help the Zelda movie is if it doesn't have 7 top performers in Hollywood that each demand like a $20 million paycheck for their 25 minutes of screen time. Like by having a relatively lesser known actor play Link and Zelda, and even though Dyken Lockman has a name, not necessarily someone who's in blockbuster after blockbuster Hollywood movie that's going to command a $30 million payday. What other kind of roles are going to do it? Ganondorf, maybe someone supplying a voice for a Goron or something like that. A King of Hyrule being, an older actor, if that's in it, or like the voice of Deku Tree, if that's in it. Like, you know what I mean? Like there are some different places, but yeah, I don't think the bulk of this movie is going to go towards the actors and actresses, and I think more of it's going to go towards on location filming, set building, and CG work. I could be wrong. They could have 5 actors that they're going to reveal later that it's like, oh my gosh, there's The Rock, there's John Cena, there's Vin Diesel, and there is Zendaya, and there's Tom Holland, and there's Robert Downey Jr., and boom, there's $250 million. Like,
oh my god!
You know what?
Paul just bombed the movie. Paul just bombed the movie.
Seriously. It's like if I see The Rock, it's like that's it. Y'all go see it without me. But you know what? A couple things. One of the things I was thinking about is, we've all heard different stories in Hollywood about quote unquote important movies and things like that, where the actors have no problem taking a pay cut, or they won't even, or if they are well off enough, they'll just be like, you don't even have to pay me. I just want to be a part of it. If I was somebody who was that's not a word, but off, than I am, I would totally say I'm just happy to be here. You know, you don't have to pay me anything. Just fly me in and feed me, and it's fine. I'll sleep on set. It's fine.
There's a lot of people who are big fans of Mario games and Zelda. That I can see that happening. Like I just want a part.
Because I would have called if I knew somebody, I would have called somebody and said, I just want to be in the background. Can I I just want to be an extra. The other thing that I'm excited for, because I don't believe they will mess this up, is good cinematography. Mm-hmm. I like good cinematography. Beautiful shots of the landscape, the green lush Hyrule field, Death Mountain, maybe under a rainbow or something. I don't know why a rainbow. I don't know, but why not? Maybe the real big Goron from OOT. We can kind of see him kind of waving at us, from Death Mountain or something like that. So that's something else that's important to me. I don't like a movie that feels choppy. Does that make sense? When you don't have great cinematography, then I can feel like a movie, it can be choppy because cinematography helps kind of tell the story as well. So I'm not talking about animated movies as much. I'm talking about real movies or live action movies. So yeah, there's that too. There's sometimes movies don't need it because it doesn't have anything to do. The cinematography doesn't have really much to do with the story. It doesn't kind of matter. But when we're talking about stories like this, I think that good cinematography is only going to help the movie overall. So I'm very excited to see that. Oh, and one more thing, going back to what you guys were saying about CGI versus getting actors and everything. I am pretty sure there is a group of women running around right now with 7-pack abs and are all over 6 feet tall. So I'm because I think about the movie, what was it? 300. Yeah. And they made all the guys do push-ups and do sit-ups through each break, so they wouldn't lose what they believe the Spartans to look like. So I almost wonder if the Gerudo people had the same kind of regimen on set, if the Gerudo are even in the movie.
Charlotte Flair could become a good Gerudo.
Yeah.
So Charlotte Flair, she's a WWE wrestler. She's tall. She's super tall. Of course, her abs are out. Her face structure is also very. She's kind of muscly also, and so I can see her as a Gerudo easily. Practical question.
I have feelings.
You got feelings. The other discussion point we have here is that with the movie in the can, could we see a teaser trailer as early as Summer Game Fest this June? Well, Summer Game Fest.
No.
Season. Summer Game Fest season. Not in Summer Game Fest. Summer Game Fest season. No. The New Zealand vibe. Let's see. Okay, this is two questions in one. Let me go ahead and just kind of separate that. So yeah, when do you guys think we can start seeing a teaser trailer? When I talk about full on trailer, teaser trailer. When do you think we could see that?
I think San Diego Comic-Con in July. That's 9.5 months before the movie.
Yeah.
Looking at past big movies, of that pop culture kind of fame, just below 12 months sometimes has been a trend. And I think for a film like this, that would fit well. However, I could see it being a little bit earlier if The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake is real and gets announced at a June Nintendo Direct, and that it is coming out in November. That would make me say, rewind to June for the earliest we could get a teaser for this film, because you would want to build some synchronous hype and then have the teaser be at the Nintendo Direct for the heck of it. Or if it's better suited, Summer Game Fest. But actually, I don't think you would have to put out Summer Game Fest if you're having a June Nintendo Direct and using it as a launching pad of where, imagine they start off the thing, good evening, everyone. Shigeru Miyamoto here. and with Wes Balsan, and and like we're proud to show you the first poster or teaser trailer or anything of next year's Legend of Zelda live action movie, and it's just a little bit followed by and that's it.
Yeah.
Coming May 7th, 2027. And then they end this direct with Zelda Ocarina of Time remake dropping in November. And then the hype freaking rolls for 5 months for the game. And then you've got only 6 months to go, kind of that halfway point between June and November, and then November and May. 6 and 6 almost, whatever, close enough. 6 and 5, 5 and 6. Yeah, you know what I mean. And then you got the movie. So I'm a little bit optimistic about June, but just since San Diego Comic-Con is such a big draw, Sony could have a panel there and they could say, come on out guests, Bo, woo, and Benjamin, yeah.
Jason Momoa. He's having a good year. If Paul's saying he's having a good year, well, might as well just put him in there too.
Jeez Louise. And then they could do a Robert Downey Jr. with not knowing who is Doomsday, and then remember the mask unveil.
Yeah.
But they have someone, a tall 6'3" male actor, wearing a Ganondorf kind of thing, and it hasn't been revealed yet who. And then coming out on stage, reveals, and then it is the actor. Like that would be a cool thing. Or since Majora's Mask and Zelda in general has been known to have a lot of masks, maybe that's how you reveal it. You get the lady that comes out that's representing Urbosa or whatever tribal leader of the Gerudo. You have this other guy who that's a kind of familiar body type going to be the Goron, but like everyone's wearing a mask of their character, and that's how they do the reveal when they come out on stage at the San Diego Comic-Con. You have the 3 people that we know, but then the other 4 main actresses come out with a mask, and then pop, 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 and then here's the panel, and here's a trailer. That's my thought. I'm going with July, but maybe direct in June.
Listen, Paul and JC. I like an actor crossed my mind that this actor, of course, started out in a big movie, right? But then he proved himself to have very good acting chops. Not just good acting chops, but he also proved himself to. First thing, he's pretty muscly too. He's pretty built, right? And so he lost a little bit of weight and everything like that, but he can still play the part.
Yeah.
Talk about Dave Bautista.
I knew it. I was like, Dave Bautista. Very good actor. Still fit. Still muscular. Plenty tall.
The voice, like listen to his voice.
He could be deep.
Then, he could be deep and just kind of, like the guy could exude emotion like crazy. He's a better actor than The Rock. The Rock. I love Rock. Dwayne,
I'm a better actor than The Rock.
Dwayne, you and me are tight and everything, but Rock to Dwayne Johnson. And so Bautista I think is a good person to play with. I'm gonna just put my mind out there really fast. I want to say June.
Real quick. We gotta do a shout out for Dream and Lil Mo, who just gifted 5 memberships to the Mike Odyssey channel, and we thank you so much for your support, Dream. Thank you.
Thank you, Dream. Appreciate you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you. You're awesome.
And I'm sorry to cut you off, Mike. I just wanted to shout out.
But I'm gonna say June for the live action teaser trailer. I'm with Paul. Miyamoto will take the center stage alongside Wes Ball and maybe an executive from Sony for the very first time in the Nintendo Direct, kind of showing this partnership and just say welcome to the 40th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda. Presenting and they will introduce the cast. Bo will be there. Who else is playing Zelda? Bo, Zelda, and Benjamin is Link. They're both going to be there, and now we want to introduce the person who will be playing Ganon. Everybody wants to know who's playing Ganon. That's like the big thing now, right? And so I think that to make this anniversary big, they have to introduce Ganon right there. The voice actors the cast. And here comes either Idris Elba or Idris Elba could be a really good Ganon too. He's a really good actor, amazing actor. I'm actually.
Oh, he's an amazing actor. I'm thinking about his physique but you know what? Ganon doesn't have to have the same physique, but I always picture Ganon as you know how football players are really fit, but they are still kind of have a lot in their kind of big back here. That's what Ganon looks like to me. And I'm like, Idris might be a little too little.
Yeah, well, the latest Ganon we saw in Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, they're pretty strong, pretty kind of samurai kind of type of
he looked like a big linebacker. He looked like a football player. He just big back and just wide.
Yeah. So in essence, they can actually go with, because this is a new legend. They can go with isn't Ganon the same throughout all legends?
Nope. Oh yes, it's the same Ganon, but it's not always the same art style.
Yeah.
Because I think because in Twilight Princess, Ganon was Ganon had a few cheeseburgers, and that's no shade. I do not believe in body shaming unless it's fake characters that are not real anyway.
Yeah, it's a character.
So I can say that about Ganon.
Yeah, it's a cartoon character. Who cares?
Okay, I just don't want anybody to be upset. Like Joyce is calling people. No, I'm calling characters.
Ganon, fictional character.
And Wind Waker, he had a few too many cheeseburgers.
Yeah, he was more like a grandpa kind of figure, like a square body kind of guy.
Ocarina of Time, he was a little bit more in shape, in my opinion.
Yeah, so Idris Elba would resemble more of the Ocarina of Time Ganon, because I can see him like taking Zelda with him in the horse. Link, Sammy's Link, and then Link is like, "Who are you? I don't know you." He's skipping along his way with his little fairy.
Quick shout out to Tabby Cat Games. I like what she said because I can seriously picture this. Idris would be a great Lionel. And I said, after the glow up that the Lionels got in the Wild era, that makes sense to me. He'll just be probably a talking dangerous Lionel, but
yeah. So I'm going for the 4th anniversary in June for the cast announcement and a teaser trailer. Not teaser alongside what Paul said. A teaser trailer that kind of shows maybe the feels, because they already have the footage. They can put together a trailer in no time. They have the footage. They have the voices already recorded, and so maybe kind of do some kind of footage like Link, wake up, Link, and then Link wakes up, whatever, the classic kind of Link wake up thing, and then maybe a little Navi fairy kind of like trying to wake him up or something, right? Not that this is the Ocarina of Time movie, but Navi is part of it. Maybe Navi is part of it. Maybe also who lives in the sword again?
Fight?
Yeah, I'm having
the spirit of the sword.
Guys, it's not that I don't know, is that I have brain farts. I have a lot of brain farts and
characters.
Senior memory and my senior mind doesn't always work. So
it's not senior moments, it's sometimers.
Sometimers, yeah.
Sometimes you remember, sometimes you don't.
I like that one. I want to make a t-shirt. Sometimes I'm a sometime.
Yeah.
So yeah. I can see a little teaser trailer happening in that. That will probably point to, again, the Paul. I'm not gonna add to Paul's perfectly put together Nintendo Direct, because that one's hype. But yeah, my pick is June. What do you think, Jersey?
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be negative. Okay. So please no one get upset with me. I think that there's going to be a summer direct, either June or July. And Nintendo ain't gonna say nothing about this movie.
I mean, that's very Nintendo.
I don't think it's gonna be in any of the cons, any of the Summer Game Fest stuff. I don't think it's gonna be anywhere. I think we're gonna get our regular direct with a bunch of games, and we're all gonna be excited about that. And I think that very later on in the year, maybe the fall, that's when we get our first teaser. Because I was looking up when the first teaser of the first Mario Brothers came out, compared to the movie. So the first teaser came out on October 6th.
Mhm.
I'm talking about the first.
Very first teaser, yeah.
Well, not the very first Mario movie, not the '90s one, the one a few couple years ago.
Yeah,
Let me just clarify.
elimination.
And then the movie came out on April 1st, 2026. I don't do math. How many months is that, Paul?
October to what? April?
Yeah,
6?
6 months.
Yeah.
With Zelda,
Be a little more, I think.
I think it could be a little bit more. Now, what I would like in the fall, I hope they give us a teaser that tells us absolutely nothing. And then what I would really like, Nintendo's not going to do this. I would really like for them to make the big trailer happen at the Game Awards, but I don't think we're going to see the big trailer until next year. But for the teaser trailer, do you know what I would honestly like? And I think I've said this before. If I haven't, well, here we go. Paul, do you remember when Twilight Princess was revealed?
Oh, yeah.
And nobody knew it was Twilight. The devs didn't even know they were making Twilight Princess yet. They just had a Link, a style of Link, a style of Epona, and some darkness, and some shadows, and some epic music, and that was it. I want them to recreate that with Ben.
Interesting.
I really want them to because the trailer tells you nothing. If you go back, I mean, we've all played Twilight Princess by now, so we can recognize it. But at the time, nobody knew what that was, and the music was epic. I mean, it was the same music I think they used for Ocarina of Time's and Wind Waker's, I think, trailers. But I would love to see that recreated, and you just see Ben when he'll either pull Epona back and she does her pose, like the really great pose that she does on the bridge in Twilight Princess, or he'll hop up and he'll show off with his sword and then shoot it. I don't want them to tell us anything, because I was like, that will be enough to hold me until May, so that'll be enough. That's all we need. That'll get the party hype. The hype train will go far. I will say this. I'm not saying that you guys are wrong, of course. We're all just guessing. But Summer also, I found a good argument for Summer. A good argument for Summer teaser reveal would be Zelda might be a harder sell than Mario. Not because everybody doesn't recognize the name, but everybody, I mean, literally everybody knows Mario. Okay.
Yeah.
Our grandparents know who Mario is. Okay. My grandmother's 100. She knows who Mario is. I have to constantly explain to her about The Legend of Zelda. So and because it's live action, they can't misstep really at all. So there is a good possibility that they might start showing it off early, so people start getting more and more interested, because it's not going to just be us crazy fans in there. It's going to be people from all walks of life, that they want to appeal to everybody. So it is a very good possibility that you guys are 100% right, and they'll reveal it over the summer.
Yeah, they have to also attach a big name, maybe a couple of big names to the movie too. So let's bring in the audiences too. Right now, with Link and Zelda being unknowns, well, not practically unknown, is a good thing, because now we can kind of just that's Link, that's Zelda. We can kind of we can lose reality, and then lose our, what is it? Break the reality, or stop thinking and just follow the, what is it?
Turn your brain off.
Yeah, turn my brain off and say, that's Link, that's Zelda. This is Hyrule. Even if you recognize your house in the corner, no, that's Hyrule. That is Hyrule. That's not my house in the corner.
But you know what? The other thing they can do, Paul can correct me. I forgot which game trailer it was. I want to say it was one of the. I want to say it was Tears of the Kingdom, or maybe it was No, it wasn't Breath. It was one of them. Paul, you'll probably know. But there's a part where the trailer's going, and you just see the profile of Ganon from like here on down, but you don't really see his full face. I wouldn't mind that being in the trailer, and then we can sit here and speculate on who Ganon is. I would like that. Keep it as secret as long as you possibly can, and then maybe in the fall tell us, okay, it's Idris Elba, or it's.
What if we hear the voice of Ganon in the trailer?
Ooh,
voice of
a menacing laugh.
Yeah,
please, not that laugh from Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
I did that for the podcast. I'm so sorry that's
The
now recorded
trail-
and now on the internet.
I'm sure we're gonna see the Master Sword in the trailer, like just like, kind of like the Master Sword, and then how about this? How about a shot of the Master Sword, and then what we look up and we see the Great Deku Tree. What we hear is the voice of the Great Deku Tree. Navi, it's
You
time.
get Liam Neeson or Morgan Freeman.
I have a
Liam
particular
Neeson will say. Liam Neeson, not Deku Tree will say like, I got a very particular set of skills. and then Morgan Freeman, I am Morgan Freeman, the Great Deku Tree, and I
like a Twinkie.
Wake up,
like
Zelda.
a Twinkie.
Wake
People
up,
have always
wake
enjoyed
up.
the sound of my voice.
I've been
Morgan
around
Freeman does have one of the best voices of all time, though.
for hundreds of years.
I'm thinking about I'm thinking you're gonna want to sell toys, so I'm slightly leaning towards it being PG, but PG-13 movies still get toys made of them. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
slightly less. But I'm just picturing, well, if you want to have as many people as you can see it, PG is probably what you want to aim for, because then you are making it also a family adventure that's not too edgy, but still awesome and good quality for all sorts of adults, all sorts of fans, all ages, and that's fine.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking back, like, man, Mike said the Master Sword, and I'm thinking, dude, Master Sword of this movie's caliber in stores for that, spring, early summertime, go to Target, Walmart, Amazon shopping, and the Master Sword as a toy. And yeah, you already have plenty of Master Swords out there, but this is the Master Sword toy from the movie.
Yeah.
And it has special light up stuff, and it could change colors, and whatever.
And
I'm thinking, like,
you're forgetting the button when you push the button. Hello, I am
Morgan Freeman as
is
Fi.
Fi.
Fi. My name is Fi. I want to tell you a story that goes like this. Once upon a time.
I wonder, this is an interesting thought. The Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario Galaxy films have amassed quite a level of talent. Will we see anybody from either of those films in the Zelda movie? They're from two different studios.
I think we'll see Pikmin.
Yeah,
no, I mean, okay, Pikmin, but I mean, like, any of the actors, like, having a small role, or
Jack
any
Black
kind of
as
role.
Tingle.
Because there's a good dozen strong names in Hollywood between the two Mario films.
Yeah.
And they could be in Zelda, not to, just regurgitate the same cast. No, but could anybody fit a role? Could anybody want it? Or
it would be cool.
Liking them, seeing the vision.
It would be cool if we get cameos from some of the voice actors, like the voice actors from The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild. What's her name?
Excuse me, princess. I'm just kidding.
Patricia Somerset.
Yeah, we get her like in a like just in the background time, like maybe in the Hyrule doing something, taking something or whatever. Give her like a line.
I still really want Mr. Miyamoto as the live action Stan Lee for Nintendo films, because I want him in it, either as a notable role, like It's Dangerous to Go Alone, take this, let Mr. Miyamoto be the older man that gives Link a sword to go on a journey, or let Mr. Miyamoto be somebody who's selling masks in the castle town as the camera's going by. Oh, hi. And that's it. That's it. Like, dude, that would mean so much to me and to you guys. And to, like,
Of course.
I think if you're a Nintendo fan that's one of the several million super glued in, you would dig that a lot. And if you're someone else out there, like, you wouldn't know otherwise, but later on you might be like, oh, that's pretty cool,
I don't think they're gonna miss out on that opportunity, Paul. I think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen because Miyamoto
At least they should.
Yeah, he's the creator of the franchise, right? And so I don't think they'll miss, especially in a live action movie, right? I think that's the best part. He's probably gonna be somewhere,
or
somewhere.
maybe not even make it that obvious as the happy mask salesman. What if him and Anuma-san just have their nice little food stand in Castletown, and Link goes by and says, hey, is there somebody goes by and asks them a question, and they both just look up, and we see it's Miyamoto and Anuma-san. I would love that. But yeah, I always got a kick out of seeing Stan Lee in his own movie.
Oh, I understand me.
Stephen King does that too in his movies,
Yeah.
or his movies that are adapted from his books. But I think he usually plays somebody innocuous, like somebody in the background, or he'll play like a truck driver, or somebody you're not supposed to notice. It's like he's like an Easter egg.
M. Night Shyamalan also, right?
Yes, M. Night Shyamalan does that too.
Yeah.
All right, so before we go into, I'm gonna go ahead and get this ready here, but I wanna also let me go ahead and remove this here quick because I have a question. How Link? The debate is out there. A lot of people still don't get that Link does communicate in games, and the only reason why you don't hear him speak is because we are the ones. We're Link. We control. We choose the answers. Link goes like this, and all of a sudden the other person responds. Oh, this and this and this and this and this and this. Okay, so it's like Link is actually talking. We just don't hear them because we're supposed to be Link, right? Like Link, even the name Link was made to be a link between the player and the story, the game. That's how Link is.
Link was meant to be an avatar, but over time he's become a character.
Exactly. So even the name Link meant a link between the player and the game and the world they're trying to present, right? And so, will Link talk, and how much do you think he should talk? Do you think he should be he talks, but when he talks, it feels important, it feels grounded, it feels like he has a like a stone character to himself, like or do you think he should have quite a bit of dialogue?
Whatever comes, in my opinion, whatever seems natural. Because I'm gonna tell you something else that can kind of take your brain out of a movie when the dialogue is choppy.
Yeah.
I don't have an example off the top of my head, but when I think of one, I'll tell you. But if the dialogue is too choppy, or it doesn't make sense for him to say anything, or it doesn't make sense for him to be quiet in a certain moment, I think it just has to be a natural dialogue. Because I don't know why anyone, not us, but I'm talking about out there just on the interwebs, I don't know why anybody really thought they were going to do a full movie where he didn't talk.
Yeah.
I think that's, no offense, interwebs, but I think that was absolutely ludicrous. I thought that was ludicrous, because I'm like, of course he's going to talk, and I like, and I had the same thought as Dream a Little Mo as well. I wouldn't mind hearing his internal monologue, maybe Link doesn't talk a lot, but we hear his internal thoughts, or his internal thoughts.
Yeah. Movies like this always start with some type of narration, and I wonder who's gonna do the beginning narration. Will be
That's gonna be Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. So Paul,
Morgan Freeman is just the narrator.
What do you think, Paul? A chatty Link, a stone Link that talks when it's important, or a no talk Link, the mute one?
I think he'll talk enough that they're not going to make it weird, like, why aren't you talking? But to tone it down a little bit, maybe make it that if they go the night route, he has taken a more or less oath of silence to focus completely on the mission, and his character opens up throughout the film, kind of progressively speaking more or having more powerful moments. Kind of like how the Mandalorian is not supposed to take his mask off, but does when it's absolutely crucial. That apply to Link, but don't make it as heavy because you don't want to make it weird. But, you know, I think he's going to talk, but if they decide to tone it down, they'll use it something like that, where it's an oath of silence for knighthood. You know,
I like it. I like it. I mean, because we have seen already movies where there are these really strong characters that they don't talk a lot, but when they do, it feels kind of strong and important, and they are fighters. They're warriors, right? They've battled. Maybe they've seen battle, and that's why they're like so kind of to themselves. And Link having this kind of stoic kind of feel to him, you know, and just kind of talking whenever he's spoken to, and then sitting on the side, right? Because I know Zelda's gonna talk his ears off, 20 years, right? And so, right, and so it'll be interesting. Now, last question before I present the exclusive piece of information to you both.
Can
and
I
this
say
is
one more thing?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You know this is my favorite topic.
Of course,
I have a good example.
Uh-huh.
Did y'all see The Bodyguard?
Yeah.
Yes, we going back. We going way back, Chuck. We going way back. Do you remember that scene when Kevin Costner was in the kitchen eating an apple and the security guard finally catches up and they have this huge fight in the kitchen and Kevin Costner doesn't say a word? You know, they just have this huge fight, and Kevin wins and he's eating his apple the entire time. And then, you know, but he has all this expression like, why are you being like this kind of thing? And then when he beats up the security guy, Kevin Costner leaves the room and says, I don't want to have this talk again. And then just leaves the room. See, so sorry, my alarm always goes off. So I kind of hope they give Link some moments like that where it's like no words need to be spoken here.
So the movie begins where Link is only hi, you know, all doesn't, and then he just says like 2 words in the middle of the movie. Let me get it right. So this is a good question that just came up to me, because and this is inspired by the Mario movie. In the Galaxy movie, they presented new lore, okay, and new for a long time. What piece of new lore would you like for them to reveal in the live action movie? If there's something new added to the lore of the story, because we know where does Link come from? What if they start there? You know, Joycey, you've been an advocate of saying Link's parents, where are they? Like as a kid, you know, if this is a new legend, why not add that to it to create that emotional connection? You know,
or at least let us have a short story. Unfortunately, Link was orphaned at a young age or something like that. Blah blah blah, and maybe show a picture of him and his parents, and it kind of fades out, you know, as they're talking about, you know, Link the Great Knight or whatever he's going to do. Because it's okay if they don't want to include them, but I always just find it, and maybe this is just the old lady in me, because I always wonder, where is your mama? And why are you running around with a sword and taking on monsters and nobody seems to really care about you?
Who trained you? Who trained you? Why are you the way you are? Right? Is there something
exactly?
Yeah. I like to see Link like enter an orphanage with a whole bunch of little boys also, and they start cleaning and singing, and all of a sudden Link by the window starts singing, "The time will come out tomorrow." Something in that sort, right? Or it's a hard not life for us. It's a hard not life for us. And start training and punching, and no, that doesn't work for Link.
I guess he could. I mean, if he's training, he could run up the steps to Hyrule Castle. With Eye of the Tiger playing, you know, by an orchestra.
He gets to the top and stuff. I did it. Wait, I don't know here yet. No, I don't know her yet.
Okay.
Paul, what do you think? Paul, what piece of new lore would you like? Would you like for them to reveal in this movie?
Lore that's not entirely new, but showed kind of for the first time. Kind of like what Joycey was saying also with where did you come from? Like Ocarina of Time Link, as the mother, if I'm not mistaken, was fleeing from Hyrule Castle, and his father perished as a knight, if I'm remembering correctly. She ran into the Kokiri forest, found the Great Deku Tree, and entrusted Link with him. And then he was raised as a baby by the other Kokiri children, and that's why he was a little bit different and didn't quite have his fairy, even though the other boys and girls did, and then grew up. But like, let's see that scene. Let's see how Link was brought in as a baby. Or do you want to do something different and be like, this years ago, and then show, like Skyward Sword-ish, this ball of light coming to Earth, landing in the soil, and out emerging, an infant baby, and then like Link was, he's Hylian, but born of Hyrule, but made of the goddess of courage, or something like. I mean, I don't want them to mess with it too much, but I wouldn't mind seeing, I guess, just how is this Link brought to be in this world. I don't know if that's necessarily like new lore, but kind of, because we don't really get to see any of Link's true origins, even in like origin kind of based games. Skyward Sword, he's already like 17 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we hear that, he's been living there for a while, and when he came to this community, well, where'd you come from? Yeah. So I think kind of like what Joycey said is, how did you come into this world?
Yeah.
And I think that does a lot of possibilities with sequels and other films and stuff, because if this film is successful and we have a trilogy and they want to tell a story of a different Zelda and Link, as these actors and actresses get older, you could tell a story of eons ago or in the future, or direct sequel, or however you want to play it, because the actors will more or less look like they do now, but a little bit older, and that's fine because there are different Zeldas and Links. Or here's one thing that I wouldn't mind, because this might be new. Does a Link and a Zelda ever get together and start a family? Because if they did, all it takes is them to have a kid one time. What does that do for eternity? Because Link and Zelda, they're not this mother-father that get married and have kids, and their kids become the future Links and Zeldas. No, because one, that would eliminate the possibility, most likely, of Link and Zelda having a future relationship, let alone having kids or anything like that. But also, they are recreated. But how are they recreated? How do, after all these eons, a new Zelda is born under a new king and queen of the castle? You know what I mean? Like, does Zelda ever get born elsewhere? How is Zelda continuously born as a princess? Spoiler alert, I guess you could say in the Wind Waker, they did something different. You know what I mean?
True.
But how is she always born a princess? Does her mother and father, in which we only ever see the dad, if anything, unless if I'm not remembering correctly, does he always know?
Always seen the dad.
That my daughter might be a legendary Zelda? Why do you name your daughter Zelda? Is it in hopes that this one will be the one to vanquish evil? In the years that transpire, in generations of peace, 300 years in between, are there no Zelda named young girls in Hyrule? What of the kings and queens in these couple hundred years in between? Do none of them have a son or a daughter? Do none of these kings have a Zelda? Also, is Hyrule so messed up that despite thousands of years, they just keep getting damaged and damaged and damaged, and they can't get electricity working? They can never get to make an automobile or an airplane? They
can glue one together now.
I mean, now they glue one together. The last bit of lore I want to know is Hyrule. It's this big. It takes place on their Earth. Hyrule represents what? A country, maybe like Australia? What about the other continents on this planet? Is Ganondorf this all-imposing threat on the whole planet? or just Hyrule, which is a continent, a country's worth?
Mhm.
Are there any other heroes born elsewhere? Do they know of Zelda and Ganondorf? Does the tale go that wide? I get it, you can't make a game the size of the Earth, but there's things that I wanted. Like, okay, there's different races, different species, but they all inhabit this. How about on the other end? So I guess I'm elaborating a little bit more beyond lore, but yeah, kind of what else is out there, sort of? I guess that's a few things in one, you know?
And it's all valid. It's all valid because it goes into the question: what new do you want to see added to the game and to the movie? And it's all valid.
And I feel that way also because I don't know if this had been in prior Mario games, but I really enjoyed seeing Mario's family.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool.
In the first animated movie. I really enjoyed that. And it's very relatable. We've all had a conversation or two with their parents where it's like, oh my gosh, you don't believe in me. How dare you? So very relatable. And unfortunately we didn't see them in the second movie, which kind of made me a little bit sad, but we got that we got that connection, and then we found out things about Peach in the Galaxy movie, and now we have that connection. So that's mainly what I want to see. Like you guys were saying, you know, where does the Link come from? And it's okay if he's an orphan, but give us a backstory. That is important lore. Also, why does the queen keep dying? The queen of Hyrule keep dying. Zelda ain't never got her mama. And trust me, when I was a girl into a young woman, I wanted my mother.
I know why. Well, maybe. Well, to answer Paul's question, in Zelda 2, I made a video of this, right? There's lore in the booklet on why every first princess is named Zelda, and it started at this point where an evil sorceress guy kind of influenced Zelda's brother, and they ended up killing Zelda. The brother, out of guilt and heartbreak, proclaimed that every firstborn princess in the kingdom will now be named Zelda throughout history. So I'm guessing that there are Zeldas who never see any action from Ganon, and it passes through. And then there's the Zelda that actually has to rise up when Ganon rises up. So throughout the hundreds of years could pass, and then Link never shows up. Zelda just becomes a princess and just kind of continues to. And maybe the mom, we never see the mom because the mom is named Zelda, and there can only be one Zelda. I don't know. Somewhere there.
I don't know, but I thought we would get a little bit more lore about the queen in the Wild era, because they made it seem like she died. The way the language or the dialogue was written is they made it seem like she died under suspicious circumstances.
Yeah.
So I thought that was going to be some kind of reveal in the in Tears of the Kingdom, what actually happened to the queen, and it would somehow tie in again. And that's what I thought.
What if a baby just comes up like that with the way like in a little crystal like that and just lands and that's Zelda, because it's highly every time it's coming down. Yeah, that's crazy.
I think she has to be. I think they're both like human born, so they have mamas.
All right, before we go into our end credits, I think that's what we call it, or our last thoughts or final thoughts. I'm still trying to figure out what to call this last segment. I don't know what to call it. We're going to go ahead and read this little new piece of information added to the IMDb page. Just a heads up, IMDb page, although people can come in here and add something, they're very strict. They'll delete it right away. Okay? Like they added the actors playing Impa to the IMDb page. It was immediately removed, but we know that Impa is played by that actress, Daikin Lackman. We know because of the leaked footage, that's her. And so not everybody can post here and it'll stay on there for good. But this right here has been recently added, which is the storyline or the synopsis for the live action movie. I'm going to go ahead and read this. And then after we read this, we go into what do we call it, Paul? Our final thoughts. It has to be something gaming related, right? End credits. I don't know. We'll think about something cool to call this segment.
I still haven't thought of anything good, and I've actually been thinking about it.
Yeah. So the storyline, a live-action adaptation of the video game franchise, The Legend of Zelda follows Link, a young warrior destined to protect the magical kingdom of Hyrule from the forces of darkness. The land is under threat from Ganon, a ruthless warlord who seeks the Triforce, an ancient relic said to grant limitless power. To stop him, Link must embark on a perilous journey. Oh no, the Lord of the Rings journey, perilous journey, battling monstrous creatures, exploring treacherous dungeons, and solving intricate puzzles to uncover sacred artifacts that can aid him in his quest. So that's what has been added for the movie. As a synopsis, is that how you say synopsis? Yeah, storyline. So that's it was added this week. I don't know how long it's going to stay there. I don't know if it's your official synopsis or if that's just a general description of what every Zelda kind of is, right? Every Zelda game is practically that. So it doesn't say there Link has to rescue the princess. It just says Ganon is after the Triforce. Link has to find, go on a quest and solve puzzles and find artifacts that can help him on his quest to defeat Ganon. Doesn't say Ganondorf, it just says Ganon. So maybe he's not a pig yet, right? Or turns into a pig later on. Something like that.
I wonder if they're even going to put that phase in there. Oh, they might. If they do a trilogy, I can see that Ganondorf turning into Ganon at the very, very end.
Ooh,
I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Like his final stand. So yeah, I'd be okay with that. I'd like that, in fact.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. All right, so it's now time for I still can't come up with the name. I still can't come up with the name. Final moment. the end. It's the end of the segment of the podcast. Somebody tell me in chat, help us find a.
It's over. Till next week.
Till next week. For those of you who don't know, that is Robot the Robbie. I forgot his name too.
Rob the Robot.
Robert the Robot. Robbie the Robot or Rob the Robot. Yeah. So end quest. I don't know.
Last stage, final stage.
All right, final stage.
Yeah, we're entering our final stage.
Yeah, it's time to answer the final stage, Paul. Any last request? Any last words?
Any last requests? For my final stage, I will say it's been a good week. Thank y'all for joining us on this Thursday or whenever you're watching. We've got Godzilla, we've got Street Fighter, we've got Zelda, Avengers Doomsday on the horizon, Mortal Kombat 2. We just had Mario. We're going to get Spider-Man. We're going to get Supergirl. Like, what a good time.
What in the world?
Entertainment. You could catch me on X and YouTube mostly. I am at Paul Gale Network. I do mostly video game history facts of what game came out or what event happened on this said day in gaming history. And I do that every day, which is pretty fun. Sometimes they're skit related, sometimes just a fact drop. And I do a countdown series and I talk video game news and stuff like that too. So that's where you can find me. And that's who I am.
I like it. And Joycey, it is the end credit. I mean, it's the game. What was it again? Game over?
Final stage moment for you.
What's the final stage moment for you? What are your last words?
My last words until next week. Live, laugh, love, and play video games. Yeah, I am on Twitter, and that's all. That's the only place I'm at DJ Joycey. Please forgive me. I do not post as much because Twitter is not what it used to be. However, if you DM me a Zelda question or want to have a Zelda conversation, I still have my notifications on, so I will see it and I will respond. It's over.
All right, thank you for sharing that. Is it was the game over?
Final stage.
How about we call it the credit roll?
Credit roll?
Yeah, the credit roll.
We'll figure it out. You know who we should ask? We should ask Lottie.
I know she's good. She's good with coming up with names.
She's good with naming stuff.
Topics podcast is her creation. So,
mm-hmm.
All right. So for now, what was the name, Paul?
Final stage.
The final stage, because it feels like Street Fighter. All right. So my final moments. My final moments. Final stage. My end credit review. I don't know. I'm lost with that. You guys can. Legend of Zelda coming out May 7, 2027. We're about a year and a half away exactly. Next month on the 7th will be exactly 1 year, and Paul will start his countdown for 365 days until the Legend of Zelda comes out. And Paul will be wearing a Tingle suit every single time, every single outfit, right?
He will personally mail you a map if you like and comment on the short. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, make sure to subscribe to Paul for all the countdown. Whenever you subscribe, I will send you a free game.
He will also show up to your home and beat up your bully.
Yeah, and Tingle outfit in the Tingle
outfit. Yes.
That'd be a good service right there.
With rupees.
Because bullies are different than they used to be. They used to just fight you, and now they do crazy stuff. So yeah, Paul, you should think about offering that as a service. Paul beats up your bully.
New ideas.
All right, so you can find me here. I'm gonna say weekdays, not every day. Weekdays is because you guys know I'm in a closet right now. If you guys don't know, look, this is the closet. This here is like a little cage with the green screen behind me. So no studio right now because the house will be built in August, be done in August, and then once we get there, then at least all the members will be in charge of looking at seeing the construction and helping me decorate the new studio and everything for the channel. But yeah, just stay tuned. I'm working on some content. You guys will actually, you know what? I'm going to show you this house in upcoming videos because I'm going to be filming some things in the kitchen, in my kitchen, filming some things in the living room. And so you guys can see a little bit of this house before we sell it. We move on. So stay tuned for that. We are on our way to 60K. We're so close, very, very close. And if you subscribe right now, I promise you that you will have 20 years of amazing luck. Amazing luck if you just hit that subscribe button. Something beautiful is gonna happen to you. I promise. You're just gonna start having the best of days. Be more positive and stuff like that. Extra positivity points. Subscribe to Paul Gale Network. If you subscribe to us, trust me. We are the little positive corner here on the channel. And so yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. Let's see here. Mike, honestly, are you going to be in any upcoming Nintendo Byte podcast? Well, you guys can go ahead and go to Nate's channel and just spam him. Hey, bring Mike Odyssey. It's up to Nate. And that's his podcast. So thank you guys so much for watching us. We will see you guys in the next one. Before we let you go, there's two things we gotta let you know. There's two things. Where are those two things?
Never give up.
And never surrender, this guy used to say
N64.
Josh.
N64
Yeah, Josh. Never surrender.
And y'all go follow him too.
Yeah. We love you, Josh. We miss you. So all right, never give up. Journey on. See you guys in the next one. Bye. Does it work? Does the stuff work? Let me see if it works. I wonder why it's not working. I want
Mine
my
works.
the little hearts and stuff to come up, but it's not coming up. And it's Jesse, just do the little hearts for me. There it is. Ah, that's nice. All right, guys, take care. See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Wait, this
Mid Topic Podcast, all things Nintendo.